のゲームさ、なんかエロ同人系だったらさ、エロシーン来るぞみたいな選択肢選んでもさ、基本何も起きないよね。バトオペはいろいろあれでしたね。うん。あれ続きからだよ。別にそんなあれだな。
This screen found A to Z contemporaire is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This must be the one he told us about, unless he was lying.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and two steering levers. It feels like you're peeking into someone's home residence. Inside it's private, cozy, warm.
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside. I don't know how good it is, but this investigation has taken long enough. We can't afford it to take any longer.
This screen found A to Z contemporaire is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced.
ステータス上げるやつ残ってるな。まあ、いいか。
Pry bar in hand, you take a hard swing at the window. A loud thunk rings out. Goddamn maggot. Drag your ass to the gym and do some reps right now.
No, it's not shatterproof. Give me that.
He smashes it into the window. Droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement.
It went better than I expected.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedal. These are movie posters featuring one of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remain, a feeling of tenderness washes over you. Wait, doesn't she resemble some? The actress is draped in a sheath, a feeling of Wait, the actresses and the rear actor looks like the frequency dial is absent.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least. For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and U. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range too. Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without the dial.
The smell of you wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued.
Sandpaper? A novel technique. Must be to offer some...
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper. It's an issue of Peripherique from last Wednesday. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics. These formulas look oddly painful.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
It's an issue of, it looks, these form...
The Ulan
The pull-out toolkit slides back into his... You close the rustic...
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return... All right. We've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep. Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net. I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed.
Listening in on your calls between you and your station, a worrying prospect.
As elegant as they are, I don't...
Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role.
Yes, well...
Unimportant.
We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. But somehow, I doubt that Evrard Clare would be oblivious to something like this. My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own ends. It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able to pin them down, indirectly. We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation. Sometime later, when we're done here. We do not want... The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid group... All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. Debrief over.
よう刑事さん今時間あるかって言われてる。あ、これどうやって戻るんだよ。あ。
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble? Still better than me, I guess. Told you there's plenty of others who tell on her. But is she in trouble?
正直に言うべきか、嘘つくべきか、それとも黙るべきか。こいつでもかなり肩入りしてるから、こいつ付け口しそうだな。
Oh man, that's like a load off my mind. All that stress was messing up my rhymes. Oh, you know. Tommy Leham's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft. Tommy Lam was taken. My real name's Jerry Lafayette. Tommy's way better.
It's more him. The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm. You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul. Utterly. And through a PA system by other people, whether they like it or not. Ram it up their ears, says your adrenaline gland. Violently express yourself. Who is mistakenly identified as a cop for his prominent jawline? Yes, sounds likely. You should probably go on stage and pose for a moment when you're done with this thought. See if it works. You have not yet stumbled on the right lamentation, but it's out there. It'll come to you. You will wreak havoc with it. Don't worry. Serves them right. Wipe that smirk off their face with your sad, tragic song. Who's laughing now? No one. You have to find something tragic to sing first, though.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably... You should take care of that, then. Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM should...
Though he finds this situation frustrating, he...
2円しかねえんだ、金が。
Can I help you? Absolutely.
Absolutely in the question. First we find a sad banger. Then we...
Yes, have you got it? Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
I understand your predicament as the manager. I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation that also affects your business.
Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more...
He shrinks back a bit under the lieutenant's severe gaze.
I mean no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment. Not until you bring me the...
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
I really didn't want to resort to this.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here.
これ次元式か。もう10時過ぎてるな。一回話し合うタスクを達成してもいいけどな。あ、こっちだ、こっちだ、こっち。
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio...
I have something here we could sell. Look in the back, in the suspect transport...
Transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny...
I confiscated this for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal. There are spinner hubcaps, frivolous things you put on your wheels. When the wheels come to a stop, the caps keep on spinning. There's no real use for them, it's just for vanity.
A vanity he wouldn't mind.
A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he... I took them and arrested him for driving under the influence.
あ
I don't know. Is it? I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked for them back. No, that would be silly. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter. I couldn't put them on this MC.
He flashes a smile, barely visible in the dark.
As I said, they're useless anyway. I should have remembered.
But thank you.
どうしようかな。ちょっとスピナーホイールってちょっと検索するか。あ、こういう、あ、はいはいはいはい、そう、装飾品、あ、こういうのね、はいはい。確かにここも、なんか、車かっこよくするポイントの一つで、みたいな感じはするな、確かに。あ、どっちにしようかな、受け取るか。まあ、一回受け取っとくか。
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
光り輝くスピナーホイール。
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type. Guess. Yes, sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here. Oh, you know, Apocalypse, Superstellar, the advanced interesting cop, Liquid Shadow cop. But you're too sorry to say those things. So, here we go? No, you don't. Come on. You'll be back to saying sorry in 2 minutes. Stop what? Jealous of the sorry cop? I think they'll be fine. Wow. Okay. Fuck off.
なんかさ、ビニール袋がどっかに落ちてると思うんだけどな。質屋どこだっけ？
The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you. The faded marks are too degraded to draw any.
Where? There? Those are old. Yes, the one that happened half a century ago. Those bullets were fired, not much. I don't have a...
地図見るか。現在地はこう。この地図もいまいちよく見方がわかんないんだよな。あそこは本屋だろ。ここ行き止まりか。あ、ここだな、してよ。チェックできるの？
The boomboxes on the shelf look well loved and well traveled. Chipped, dented. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big "This is you." Gold, and just make sure it works before you buy it.
Is the Harman Welsh W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel. If police work means playing tapes, sure.
Like a beach party, with sand and sun and seagulls dancing on the breeze.
Theoretically, yes. But we don't have time right now. It's generally murder investigation first, then beach party.
You can play it any way you... Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech. Found sounds and music from a variety of genres. Hello, hello. Let me know if I...
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of his pawn shop.
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jump a mess banger.
高っ、200。
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
Of course, I meant no offense.
Thank you. Here's the 30 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
あ、30しかくれねえのか。
The windfall is a
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
Can I help you? Yes. Have you got it?
Well,
返し方ね。ちょっと、見えねえよ。喉に詰まらせて死んでくれ。これだ。これちょっといい人っぽく渡すか。喉に詰まらせて死んでくれって。
Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance.
He's not sorry about his behavior for your sake.
I'll unlock the electronic lock to your room. All the doors lock automatically at 9 p.m. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real.
I'll take a room here too.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can...
一日の終わりの打ち合わせするか。
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit. Your mesolimbic reward pathway does not mince words. It wants who knows what you are. A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma. You feel like a smoker, especially when you look at that juice. How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette.
The idea seems to make your neck expand. Suddenly, the garish tie feels very snug.
Good. They'll make you stronger and better. You're too old to be cool now, but fine cigarettes. Plus, smoking them gives massive bonuses.
タバコ手に入れろって言われてもな。
Yes?
あれここでさ、被疑者の遺体調べられねえんだろ。ワーリングインラグズのバルコニーでキムと話し合いしろ。 こがバルコニーじゃねえの？
Yes? What do you want to know? Good.
This is the door to the room.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides,
Ah,
we should
これで
discuss
バルコ
our
ニー行こうと
progress
流
on
れ
the
るのか。
investigation.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum.
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to... I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a...
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
I apologize, but I only brought one with me. I have exactly one cigarette every night while going on. You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will, and unhealthy.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit.
Yes. It's been a long and eventful... Well, we didn't even look, and there's still much to do at the crime scene too. We didn't...
He would have put all of this more harshly, but he doesn't want you to feel completely discouraged. Probably because he's afraid that you'll just give up.
It's not my job to evaluate your methodology, officer. We weren't able to find the union leader, Evrard Clare, much less interview him. So that's on the to-do. We tried to interview the Wipehands rep, but she asked us to do something for her first. We learned some interesting things on him.
こんばんは、お疲れ様です。
あ、深岡さんこんばん
I have
は。
a feeling she knows
いや
how
ー、
to
カスタムパーツとんでもないのが来ましたね。
We also have to be careful about what we share.
あれ、サイコフレーム、サイコフレームの次ぐらいに、次とかサイコフレームレベルで取っとかなきゃいけないカスパっぽくないですか、あれ。複合フレームタイプ A。もう僕絶対回しますわ、6月になったら。
Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with...
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast.
なかなかひどいですよね、W。
あれ、ある意味賢い子はあるんだけど、でも、諸刃の剣な気がすんだよな。だって、あんなカスパ出されたらもう今後僕みたいな美課金は、星3とか星に回すのやめとこうってなる人も僕みたいに多いですよ。絶対回さないぞみたいな。こんな、カスパ、絶対取らなきゃいけないのカスパ出してくんだったら。俺もう決めたもん。もう星3は、トークン600以上キープできる範囲でしか回さないみたいな方針にしたもん、俺も。しかもあれだよね、強化の段階が多いと効果が上がるとかめっちゃ僕向きだし、俺すごい強化するから。なんか Twitter 見てると、フル強化してるのなんて星1のしかねえよみたいな人結構見たけど。
機体はすり抜けで来る可能性あるけどカスパはないですからね。
サイコフレームとか未だに、なんだろう、リサーチ系落ちとか知ってませんもんね。
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
ちょっと、まだ引いてないけど、スロットが2、4、3ですよね。ちょっといろいろ、なんかうまく入るのないかなと思ってみたけど、やっぱフルバーニャンレベル3とジェスター A とサイコザクトがなんかいい感じだなと、フェネックスとか。積みたい機体結構多いけど、なんかやっぱり積みやすいのと積みやすくないのがやっぱありますよね。キュベレーとかリゼルシーとかに積みたいって言っても、あれじゃないですか、あいつら金スロが13じゃないですか、強化込みで。言うて体格レベル4も積みたいから、そうすると金スロが2だから14以上必要なわけで、13とか半端なんだよな。13にあれ積んで金スロが残り11になったとして、 じゃあその11どうやって埋めんのみたいなとこあるしね。キュベレーとかリゼルシー。だから、一番中途半端なんだよな、13がある意味。今まではさ、13とか12だったらさ、金スロ詰めるから、金スロで囲まれるからまあいいじゃんみたいな感じだったけどさ、13が一番中途半端な数字なんだよな、ある意味。12とか13とか。14か。だからある意味少なければ、それで済んで終わりだし。デスタイの強化もわけわかんないよな。さっき小倉さん乗ってたけど。めちゃくちゃいい感じに詰めるぞ、複合パーツ。複合フレームタイプ A。デスタイ、ステルスついてるやつ。ちょっと待って、アップデ内容を見るか。なんかスタッフカールの強化は物足りないし、グフカスの強化は明らかに足らない感じだったけどな。まあ、百式とかはなんか、バルカンもめちゃくちゃ強くなったし。いやー、今回ちょっと強すぎるよな、ある意味。なんかサイコパッケージぐらいだったらさ、サイコパッケージぐらいの性能の、おばちじゃないカスパだったらなんかそこまでじゃないけど、ここまで必須級だと、ある意味モルカの剣だと思うんだよな。星3回す人が減っちゃうみたいなね。今回回す人はいても。
三角の火力上げるのはあかんだろって感じですよね。
セザエね。うん。セザエやってんなと思った。あと、エル君はあれだね、昼間っていうか、夕方やってる時イゾルデにだいぶはしゃいでましたね。イゾルデあれらしいですよ。500% らしいですよ。なんか、空中で止まってる時に落ちにくくなったとか言ってるじゃないですか、イゾルデ。あれなんか 500% らしいですよ。やばい、すごいですよね。なんか、600は、アトラスが言ったら無理だけど、関係ないから。なんか600は無理だけど、なんかレベル2がツバイメタレルとか言ってたけど。アトラスさえいなきゃツバイメタレルぞみたいな、イゾルで。まあ僕もあれなんだよな。面白そうだなと思ったから。レベル2もレベル1も。イゾルでも割となんかちょっと詰めやすまあちょっとあんまりシミュレーションしてないけど、複合フレーム、ちょっと積みやすい感じでもうするから。イゾルデってなんか6段階目が強化セキュリティとかゴミだから、なんか5段階目で止めてたけど、やろうと思いましたね。まあでもまあレベル2だけですけど、レベル1はなんか6月の中旬にプレボであるから、イゾルデが。なんだろう、別に今下手に上げなくても、そのプレボ取っといて3倍の時にやれば一気に進むから、5段階目まで終わってるんで、レベル1もレベル2。だからレベル2だけ回収して6段階目開けときましたね、今、イゾルデ。まあ、むしろ今はアトラスが、まあ、出現率が低い分、レベル2の方が楽しいみたいなこと言ってるんで。あとは、まあ、百式はまあ普通に強くなった。アッシマはまあよくわかんないけど、まあ、ちょっと結構強くなったみたいで。スターカールはなんかな、よくわかんないけど。まあ、イゾルテはな、まあ今、明らかにアトラスが厳しくなったし、
イゾルデの火力がさらに上がりましたね。
まあ、イゾルテの強化だと、まあ、現状、アトラス下方しないだったら、まあ、妥当かもしれないですね。てか、もともと難しいから、これ、ひどいな、これ、650のライバル勝利って 37.7% って。アトラス実装前だったら、普通にレベル2とかもやれるレベル、出してもいいレベルの強さあった気がしますけど、やっぱ難しいんだろうな、これ、フライト。すげえな、37.7% って。ライバル勝率。ピクシーは別にもともと強化来たところで使うつもりないからノーコメント。これブロッサムなんかあまり見なかったな、人が使ってるの。でもなんか結構十分になったかみたいなこと言ってるから、まあよくわかんないけど。イゾルデは結構面白そうと思った。まあ何にせよ複合フレームのインパクトが今回はすごかったですね。こんな引かざるを得ないみたいなね。これ今回タイプ A とか書いてあるから間違いなくタイプ B も来ますよね。なんか福岡サダビーに来たから福岡ニューが来るときにタイプ A が来るのかみたいに言ってる人もいるけど、そのなんだタイプ B だから複合フレームタイプ B みたいな、だから格闘補正なんかあれですよね、射撃補正、まあ修理の効率が上がるのもあるけど、射撃補正とフレームがタイプ A は上がってるんじゃないですか。だからタイプ B は まあ、格闘補正は上がる
来
とし、
月ですかね。
うん、タイプ B は格闘補正と、ワンチャンフレームじゃな、ヒットポイントじゃなくてスラスターが上がる可能性もあるかなと思って、そうすると、それまた必須だからな。なんか格闘補正とスラスターが上がる可能性もありそうだしね。まあ、格闘補正は絶対上がるけど。格闘補正とヒットポイントじゃなくて、格闘補正とスラスター、なんかやっぱ、格闘振る機体の方がやっぱスラスターも欲しいから、ヒットポイントより。あるなと思ってね。それまた必須だよな、ある意味。いやー、めっちゃ欲しい。いや、めっちゃ欲しいと思う。どうせ回すんだけど。なんか、カスタムパーツって、射撃補正よりも格闘補正の方がなんかスロット、同じ数値上げるにしてもちょっと低めに抑えられる傾向にあるから、スロットもなんか、今回9だけど、ちょっと少なめかもして余計積みやすいかもしれないし、なんか、射撃補正10上げる、格闘補正10上げる方がなんか、低かったりするじゃないですか、スロットが。いや、強そうだよな。絶対来ると思う。
無課金税としては5周年に備えたいのに。
どう、どういうペースで来るのかな。今のところ、星4を一月のうちに2回出すのはまああるけど、油断させたところで一月のうちに3回星4出してくるとかあるのかな。だからそういうのが怖いから、600をキープしたいみたいなとこあるんですよね、ちょっとね。だからもう、今後は星3はトークン600以上キープできる範囲でしか回さない方がいいのかな、みたいなね。何が起きるかもうわかんないから。ちょっと集金体制に強めてんじゃないかなって。いやー、でもこれね、絶対諸刃の剣だよ。うん。ここまで強いと、ガチャ回し控えする人が増えるんじゃねえかなと思う。星3とか星に。正直、あれのカスパ、この243か、243をどう組もうかなばっか考えて、新機体の
というか
性能とか、
最近毎月のやけくそ強化も相まってインフレ加速してませんか。
なんか、誰が言ってたのかな。誰が言ってるのか忘れちゃったけど、フランフェルさんが言ってたのかな、放送中に。結局、アトラスを下げるんじゃなくて、なんかその両ダブを見て言ってたのか。だから、両ダブの性能が、やっぱアトラスを前提にしたような性能だから、結局、他に合わせてアトラスを下げるんじゃなくて、周りをアトラスに合わせていくみたいな流れにしたんだなみたいなことを嘆いてるようなことを言ってたけど、まあ、そんな感じなんでしょうね。インフレをさせていくみたいな。ちょっと飛び抜けてるやつを抑えるんじゃなくて。だからまあアトラスの下方の可能性はもうほぼないんじゃないですか、やっぱり。飛び抜けてるやつを下げるんじゃなくて、周りもインフレさせていくみたいなね。でもこうやってタイプ A の後にタイプ B がなるとなんか余計6段階強化が必須になってくるから、ある意味、なんだろう、後発の人が辛くなる要素ではありますよね。タイプ A、タイプ B、もしかしたらタイプ C も来るかもしれないし。セザエの強化が一番嫌だった、ある意味嫌だったかも、いらねえだろうと思ったら、ステルスなんて
Thank you for
割
the
と深い
compliment.
要素なんだからな。
We could manage it even in wooden clods.
ヘビアタの威
There
力
are
上昇、
many
スラスターも増えて。
reservoirs in this body. God knows why.
ですよね。ただでさえ敷居高いゲームだと思うのに。
よし、始めるぞって言って。スロット、強化6段階目までって結構大変ですからね。僕は結構計画的にやってるから、あんまりガチャ回さなくても、そこそこフル強化できてるけど。 こうなるとなんか星4も結構6段階まで強化したくなるから、それ考えると星3とか回さないで、なんかナラティブとかスルーしてたやつもちゃんと回して、回収チケットって1回の70円で何枚もらえるんだっけな、300枚でしたっけ。集めといた方が良かったかなみたいな。フェネックスも結構いい感じに複合フレームへ詰めそうな感じする。あれ面白かったな。エル君イゾルでレベル D700 で乗ってて止まってそれ止まって撃ってたら、フェネックスの物理実弾ファンネルで落とされたのおかしかったな。いや、これがあったわめなみたいな。おかしかったな。確定ステップはなんだこれ何枚だ、150枚しかもらえないのか。やば。いや、これ結構あれだな。星4はやっぱ厳しいな。厳選しないとダメだな。これ、ある意味星4の回収チケット貴重品すぎるから、なんだろう、複合フレームをうまくつけれるかどうかも重要視して選ばなきゃダメだよな。複合フレームを積みやすいかどうかなみたいな。スロットが回収するかどうかの判断。サダビーとかフル回収してるけどあんまりな。ちょっと中スロが少ないから積みにくそうだった。
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule. The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Rebachol.
あとは今週のアップでは特にそれぐらいですかね。なんかパイロット期間限定任務でなんかシャアのコスチュームみたいなのたくさん配ってるけど、もう昔そのおまけでつけてそれっきりのなんかコスチューム結構多いから、そんなのもっとどんどんリサ落ちさせろよって前から思ってんだよな。黒い3連星のやつとか欲しいんだけど。ビッグディアスジオング100式がまたなんかプレゼントされたけど、それもできたら3倍の時にやりたいから、なんか受け取り期限が7月24日だっけ、そこまでだけど、その前に5周年のキャンペーンが始まるのか分かんないけど、始めて3倍くればな。
600教習の強化ないのは意外でしたね。
アトラスって先月アトラスって4月の頭、4月ぐらいでしたっけ。まだ様子見なのかな。明らかにきついと思うけど。どうだろう。まだ様子見なのかな、運営の中では。アトラスって実装されてまだ1、2ヶ月だから。
3月の最後でしたね、確か。
ああ、やっぱ3月か。だから4月のからだから。特に教習600だろう。600だとまあゼーズールのレベル2か。S ガン軒並み低い気がするけど、いや、まだ様子見なんでしょうね。2、3、やっぱり下放するにしたって大体3ヶ月後だから、周りを強化するのもやっぱ3ヶ月か3、4ヶ月様子見してからやっぱやる感じなんじゃないですかね。まあでもイゾルテの戦績見るに やっぱフライトは難しいのかなとも思いますけど。まあ、アトラスはもう加工しないんだろうなってちょっと思い始めた。まあ、てか、教習だけじゃなくて、600って、そのアトラスとか両ダブ以外の汎用も相当難しいような気がするけど、でもあれじゃないですか。前回の調整結果みたいなので、ゼータガンダムのライバル勝率が53%ぐらいあったじゃないですか。あれ、強化されたって言っても、やっぱり普通にアトラス使ったら絶対勝てるから、なんだろう、ゼータガンダムのライバル勝率が53%なのを見て、やっぱり A 体とか A フラット体だ、A プラス体だったら、そこまでアトラス暴れてないんじゃねえかなって思い始めたんですけど、ゼータガンダムのなんか、勝率が結構高かったのを見て、調整結果で。普通に考えたらなんだろう、アトラスは両ダブ以外の600範囲をも、ジェスタとか、そこら辺、その成績下がっててもおかしくない気がするんですけど。まあ、イゾルトはひどかったけど。だからそれはイゾルトもフライトだからだし。だから配電スレーとか、百式回とか、なんか、普通になんだろう。そんなに、その A プラスばっかの部屋とか、S マイナスがいない A プラスだけの部屋とか、A フラットの部屋とかだったら、なんかそんなアトラスって教習が終わってるとかじゃなくて、なんか、百式回とか配電するとかゼータガンダム相手にしてるから、そんなに下がってないのかなみたいな可能性もありますよね。
ゼータそんな上がってたんですか。アトラスで対面してて、カモでしかないから、そんなイメージなかったです。
そうそう、上級者同士でやったら絶対もう両ダブぐらいじゃないとアトラス相手にするのきついみたいな感じだけど、その前回の調整結果みたいなのあるじゃないですか、アップデート、はい、出してるじゃないですか。そこで結構上がってたから。ああ、そうそう。ライバル勝率が 53.3% になってて。だから、もしかしたら、そこまで教習は辛くないのかもしれない。A プラス戦場だったら。
Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always
うまいアトラ
request
スがいる S マイナスばっかの
station.
戦場だときついけど。
Officers of the RCM have been known to take
っ
bribes
て
of
思っ
less
た。
than the prescribed fine
思い
amount.
ましたね。
It undermines
ゼータ
trust
ガンダ
in
ムの
RCM.
調整結果見て。Z2 も 49.8% とかなってるし。想像の及ばない世界がその調整するしないのデータに含まれてるから。
We can arrest people, of
下
course.
手なアトラスはそもそも飛ばないことも多いですからね。
It prevents confusion and overcrowding. You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
When power calls you, you come.
We are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary, even lethal.
怖いなぁ。毎月、だって、なんか星4の僕はローゼンゼルは星4じゃないと思ってるけど、でもなんか星4で来てもおかしくない格の機体って結構あるから、考えれば。別に毎月に2機星4出してもおかしくないぐらいあるから、怖いよなぁ。ドルメルに30年してる場合じゃなかったわ。
星4実装の時から若干の不安はあったんですけどね。 W。
一月に1回だったらまだまあまあまあまあなんだけど、まあ間違いなく5周年では2期来るだろうし、ニューサザユニバンみたいな感じで。でも今回強化機体で乗りたいと思ったのは、まあ、アッシマーは、まあ、アッシマー、イゾルテ、百式、グスタフカールはなんかちょっと足らないんじゃねえかなって思うし、まあ、セザエ、セザエ、ブロッサム、まあ、結構あるな。でもそこそこ乗ってみたくなった機体は増えたけど。世代はいらんな。深い要素だもん。でもすごいな。世代めちゃくちゃレベルにはまあわかるけど。46%。スロットが増えたからすごい組みやすくなったぞ。百式のこの主兵装の格闘、サーベルクールタイム2秒もでかいな。これ、シナンジュスタイン使ってても思うけど、クールタイム2秒ってすごい使いやすいからな。百式、そういえばさ、それ見たとき。
グスタフは読み合い、上手い人しか使えなさそうですしね。回避くらいは上げても良さそう。
回避か。なんかね、硬いんだったら硬いだけじゃなくて、いろいろ強い、ツバイでいいみたいなところがあるからな。まあ、そもそもなんか、アクティブガードは面白いけど、武装に面白みがないっていうのがね、しかもなんかビームライフルの蓄積値上がったって言っても、なんか 20% になっただけらしいけど、ビームライフルの蓄積値。結局、クラブと主兵装が、バズーカのよろけ値が80だから、その80足すビームライフルの蓄積20にしたから、それで100にして止めてねってことだろうけど、そんな650、蓄積100で止められたなんてやつ相手そんなにいるかみたいなとこあるけどな。まあ、それ汎用だったら止まるけど。でも百式ってあれか、サーベルは切り替え0.77なのか。そこがちょっとしなしたと違うか。まあ武装が強要だと、なんか強化が難しいみたいなとこあるんだよな。グスタフカールみたいに。500機体の持ってる武器が主兵装とかだと。あれ仕様なんですかね。副兵装も、なんか他の機体とその名前が一緒で、性能も一緒だと、その機体のその副兵装を強化しちゃうと、その同じ名前で同じ性能の持ってる別の機体のその副兵装も一緒に上がっちゃうみたいな、なんかたまにあるじゃないですか。運営がそうと思わずに一緒に強くなっちゃったけど、まあ問題ないからそのままにしときますみたいなことを言うとき。今何を僕が調べてるかというと、グスタフ・カールのバルカンって、60ミリバルカンってなんか他に同じ名前のやついたかなと思ってちょっとしてみた。でもあれか。 違うか。なんか S ガンとゼクツバイのバルカンが 60mm バルカンだと思ったけど、あれが2つあれかける2なのか。違うわ。違う。S ガンがかける4で。ゼクツバイかける2から。別か。
シュツルムディアスとシャーリジェでそういうのありましたね。
そう。なんか、あれか。そう。あれ仕様なんですかね。なんか、あれはどうしようもないし、なんかこう、システムっていうか、プログラム上の仕様なんですかね。どうしてもそうなっちゃうな、みたいな。ダメだ。ウィキだとすぐ、この副兵装のバルカンが他に 60mm バルカン砲っていう名前で、なんか S 側かける4だったり、ゼクスベはかける2だったけど、同じ名前のやつ持ってるやつでわかんないや。
でも、シュツルムファウストは名前同じなのに機体によって威力違うしどうなんだろう。
確かに。名前同じでもなんかこう、紐付けされてるっていうかね、されてたりされてなかったりするんですかね。クラブよろけ値50か。ワクスターカール低いな。ライバル勝率42って低いな。これね、どうせ、いや、もう一強化来るでしょうって思うな。下覚悟は150になったとか言って、なんか小倉さんの放送で言ってたな。下覚の倍率は。アクティブガードはまあ面白いんですけどね。この前、クシャトリア強化来るだろうって話してた時に、後から思ったんですけど、ディフェンスガードもなんか来るんじゃねえかなと思いますわ。割と、まあ、うまく使ってる人、上手い人はなんかうまく使ってるシーン出してくるけど、ディフェンスガード。あんまり自分じゃ確かめてないけど、ディフェンスガードってなんかバルカンで打ち続けられてると固まるみたいなことなんかナイファー先生あたりがツイッターで言ってた気がするけど、絶対強化の余地あるだろうと思う。別に持ってる機体ってシェザビーとクシャトリアぐらいだから、強化してもそんな問題ないだろうし。でもクシャトリア強化来るから、新機体福岡サダビ引かなくてもいいやとか言ってたけど、結局引くことになっちゃったしな。いやー、だってオバチュじゃねえもんな。オバチュじゃなければとか、そういうサイコパッケージくらいでも引こうかなみたいな思ったけど、そういうレベルじゃなかったのをやりすぎてると思うわ。あのせいの。
新機体が強いし余計に強化欲しくなりますよね。
新機体やっぱ強いんですか。なんか、誰かそこそこ見たけど人が使ってるの。やっぱ強そうでしたよね。なんか、回避じゃねえから、回避って名前じゃないからいいだろうみたいな感じで普通に。
結構強いです。
回避って名前じゃないからいいだろうみたいな感じで普通に回避ついてるし。
ありますし。
ダメージが入る回避があるみたいですしね。てかまだあれだな。ウィキあんまりちゃんとできてないな。福岡サダビのウィキのページまだ未完成だな、全然。あれか。書いてる人が6月まで引くの待ってんのか、これ。
それがほんと強いんですよね。
あれ単純にあれですか、回避1みたいな感じ、ダメージの入る回避1みたいな感じですか。普通の普通の回避でもなんか、よろけはしないけどダメージ入ってるみたいなこと結構多いしな。 あ、でもあれか、コロコロって転がってるみたいな時にもダメージ入るのか。
そうですね。
うん。まあでもな、よろけないことがやっぱ大事だからさ。一番大事だからな。強そう。まあ、福岡、ただび来て福岡にも来ないこともありえないし。でもどうなんだろうな。間開けるのかな。まあまあ、ふかふかさんが言ってるみたいに、6月じゃなくて7月か。7月のと6月、7月の。
しかも、拡散メガと追従でスラウチよろけ狙えますからね。
主フェイスを片 B でスラ吹かせながら追従よろけ強そうでしたね。フルアタック発動中の胸火もえぐいって言ってる人もいるし、言ってるっていうか小倉さんも言ってるし。
Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best. Yes, the last time was 4 years ago.
He says it matter-of-factly.
次のクラウマッチ月曜日でしたっけ？北極だけど出てくるのかな。さすがに北極はきついのかな。
There is a slight physical revulsion in him while saying that, but he's worked through it.
That's an improbability, perhaps even impossibility.
ラグと並ぶかそれ以上に感じましたね、対面してて。
ラグドールってあんまスラウチ武装がやっぱりスラウチできるって大事だ。バランスも普通にあってスラウチよろけが2つあるってやっぱすごい強いと思うな。僕も早くちょっと自分、まあ、ウィキもできてないし、
硬さはあまり感じなかったけど、
まあ、縦ないですし、縦もないですからね。まあ、それはダクトルもないけど。ファンネルはスラ中にロックできない感じなんですかね。強撃と、なんだっけ、照射照射か。サイコム教師も、ロックが速くなるだけでしたっけ？ダグ、まあ一応ダグも腹火はあるのか。いやー、でも絶対カスタムパーツがあれじゃなかったら回してなかったな。でも、
ちゃんと見てなかったので、そこはわからないです。
まあでもなんか、予想としては多分できないんだろうなと思う。
Perhaps, but Prison 41 is known for a higher than average rate of kills.
支援機ですからね。
まあでも調整で結構まだ乗りたくなった機体も増えたし、6月になったらまた楽しくライバル50勝できそうですわ。
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Courant and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
でもまあ言うて今月は5月は星4が来なかったっていうか、1ヶ月星4はお休み期間があったから、まあ、そういうのがこういうペースで来てくれれば、まあ星3回さなかったら、まあ星4は70連 し続けられそうだけど。
これってどういうゲームなんですか？ちょっと雰囲気良さそう。
これは殺人事件を捜査する刑事が主人公なんですよ。で、主人公なんですけど、殺人事件を捜査するっていう。でもなんか主人公がアル中で役中だから、記憶がそのゲームスタート地点だと飛んじゃってるんですよね。で、それはある意味、ゲーム始めたばっかのプレイヤーも、この世界がどういう世界なのか分かってないわけで、そういう意味ではその主人公も、そのアル中で役中で記憶が飛んじゃってるか分かってないって一緒なわけで、だから、それで周りの人に教えてもらうんですよね。で、それでプレイヤーも分かってくるみたいな。そういういろんな世界の状況。だから、文章量がめちゃくちゃ多いんですよね。だから、字読むのが辛い人にはちょっと難しいゲームかもしれない。でも、なんかよくできてるなって思うのは、ある人物とした会話が、またその別の人物との会話でちゃんとしっかり反映されてるのは、そのテキスト量がすごい多いのによくできてるなって思う。ただ UI がちょっとよく使いにくかったり、あんまり説明がなかったりするのは不親切に感じるところもあるし、あまりにも文章量が多すぎるって思う部分もある。
The coalition government and the moral intern noteworthy.
しかもなんか専門用語っていうか、専門用語めちゃくちゃ多いし。
The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to
殺人事件を捜査してるわけですよね。で、プレイヤーもこの社会の状況がどういうのか、初めて分かってないで、主人公ももともとこの世界に生きてるけど、記憶飛んでるから分かってないから周りの人に聞く。
確かに文書は多そうですね。W でもあらすじ聞いた感じだと映画とかにありそうで面白そうですね。
なんか評価は割とされてるゲームっぽいですね。僕なんでこのゲーム買ったのかな。ファミ通のコラム書いてる山本佐穂の漫画で紹介されてたから買ったんだっけな。ファミ通図書館で借りて毎週読んでるけど、毎週ってか一週遅れだけど、なんか買ってから結構時間経ってから始めてますけど。
Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM. Be sentimental if you like. Either way, the moral intern leases us the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away if we misuse it. The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed. They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its
若干意味わかんないし、今この ICP とか EPIS っていう言葉を今初めて出てきただろうと思ってんだよな僕。
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats. Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion,
Something ominous. Something even a little feminine. But in a strict manner.
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
ああ、そうか。それでなんかシステム的にはなんか人格が24個あるんですよ、この人、人格が。で、まあなんか脳筋っぽい人格を上げれば、その荒事っぽい状況になった時に、そのサイコロ振って成功するか失敗するか決まるんですけど、まあ成功しやすくなるみたいな。なんかそういうテーブル RPG っぽいところもあるんですよね。なんかこうスリするときは手さばきが高かったら成功しやすいみたいな。これもなんか24個もいるかみたいな。把握しきれんてって24個もあったら8個ぐらいにしてくれと思う。なんか24人のビリミリガンとかいう小説があったんでしたっけ。なんかそれを元にしてる、それがあるから24個もあんのかな、これ。ビリー・ミリガンで24個だっけ。ああ、やっぱ24だ。多すぎ。ここの UI が一番クソなんだよな。
For you, she is something painful, though it's hard to say why.
The moral intern are a fact.
24個の人格を使い分けろってことなんですか？ W。
It doesn't look like that's about to happen.
まあ、使い分けろというか、まあ、状況に応じてその人格のレベルが高いかどうかで成功しやすさが変わるっていう感じなんですよね。まあ、全部のステータスを上げることはできないから。
なるほど。
うん。まあ、結局得意不得意はずっとあり続けるみたいな。なんか最初4つ性格選ばされるけど、性格っていうか4つのパターンを選ばされましたけど、絶対24個もいらないわ。なんか話しかけていくんですよね、自分に対して。だからその文章も多い。だからこの文章で、だからこれにも内陸帝国とか電気科学とかなんかこう書いてあるじゃないですか。これは自分のその人格が話しかけてきてるんですよね、自分に。この通覚なんていうんだこれ。統治とかの。頭の中のもう一人の僕が話しかけてきてるんですよね。
It is more than that. There's some kind of affection in
この共感っていうのも、その人格の一つの共感が話しかけてきてるんですよね。それ以上の感情が感じられる。
Yes, I did, when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, but the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. No, I believe in the RCM. Do you? We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes. Sadly, it is what we already are to the people of Martinez, most of them at least, especially the Union. Vigilantes. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
The lights of the orphan district are reflected in his glasses. The red and golden orbs of the motorway sliding like pearls on a string from east to west as Revachol commutes back to the sun. The dying lights of the city shimmer below, slowly, like luminous cloud. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different in land, in Jamrock and the GRIA. It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our two precincts. We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate. Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes. Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
まあ一応このタスクがあるから、なんだろう。もうタスクに書かれてることをやっていけば話は進むみたいなことはあるけど、説明がそれでも少ないんよな。なんか、ビニール袋持ってればゴミ箱を漁ってそこで拾ったものを換金できるぞみたいなこと言われてるけど、いつまでたってもビニール袋見つかんないし。なんか話聞いてるとさ、まだお前この遺体調べてないのかよとか言われるけど、遺体の近くに行っても調べられないんだよな。くせえくせえって言ってるばっかでこの人。発見を抑えて、一回出発ぐらい進むのかな。その調べてる殺人事件ってのは、なんか認知された人が吊るされてるんですけど、この店の裏に。これどこで寝んの？このキムってのは相棒ですね。ああ、キムこの部屋か。でもこれなんかキムがと一緒じゃないときにできることもあるみたいなんだよな。
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting.
まあいいか。よくわかんねえからもう寝るか。
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then sleep doesn't come. Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes closed. Maybe it's the bed's fault. Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing.
これね、マジで、なんだろうな。文章を読むんじゃなくてゲーム化してんだみたいな人にはあんま向いてないかもしれない、このゲーム。俺、最近メタルギアソリッド3。ボイス
がすごい眠気を誘ってきますね、W。
俺最近なんか今日か最近っていうか、今日メタルギアソリッド3のリメイクのメタルギアソリッドデルタとかいうのが発表されたじゃないですか。まあ、僕3すごい好きで、あれが一番メタルギアソリッド好きなんですけど、この前なんか、ベラベラしたなんかメタルギアオンラインに昔好きだったとか言ってる、ハマってたとか言いましたけど、まあ、それも3のおまけだったやつです。で、よく4は僕嫌いみたいに言うんですけど、4の何が嫌かって、なんだろう、ゲームの合間にムービーが流れるんじゃなくて、なんかムービーの合間にゲームやらされてるみたいなね、感がすごい嫌だったんですけど、これもあれだもんな。ある意味文章が多すぎて、ゲームの間にテキスト読んでるっていうよりも、テキスト読んでる合間にゲームしてるみたいな感じだもんな、これ。ムービーじゃねえけど。テキスト読んでる合間に、
それは嫌ですね、確かに。
うん。テキスト読んでる合間にゲームして、ちょっとたまに 選択肢が出てきたりしてゲーム要素があるみたいな。俺は字が読みたいんじゃねえみたいな人にはちょっときついものがあるかもしれない、このゲーム。
It's a little better.
この自問自答してる時は無駄に指摘だしな。
Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it?
ある意味中身がないこと言ってるっていうか。
Something to do with what was it that the lieutenant said?
でもメタルギアソリッドデルタは楽しみだな。
モンハンくらいの塩梅が個人的に好きですね。
それがそもそものムービーなのに、メタルギアソリッド4って、まあ、その作ってる小島監督はやっぱりちょっと映画監督やりてえみたいなとこあるから、とにかくムービーが多かった。ムービーの合間にハイゲームみたいな。操作みたいな。操作してたまにムービーが流れるとかじゃなくて、なんか逆になってるみたいなね。5は5でな、ゲーム部分はめちゃくちゃ面白かったのに。メタルギアソリッドの話になっちゃうけど。ゲーム部分はめちゃくちゃ面白かったのに未完成だったからな、あれ。めちゃくちゃ面白かった、5。ゲーム部分は。ただ未完成。未完成品。あとドラゴンズドグマ2か。みんな言ってるけど。もうやだ。もうああいうメタルギアソリッドとかドラゴンズドグマとかのなんか昔あったゲームの続編だのリメイクが発表されるたんびに、それリアルタイムでやってない人が、まあなんかそれ嫌だと思う。あれもちょっと老害的思考なのもわかるんだけど、なんか嫌だと思っちゃうな。それをリアルタイムでやってない人が盛り上がってるのを見ると。古参気取りしたくなっちゃう。ドラゴンズドグマは良かったな。なんだろう。荒削りな部分はあるけど、カプコンにはこの方向性で頑張ってほしいみたいなのがすごいあった。ドラゴンズドグマ。まあオンラインはやってないんですけど。組合に関係のある誰かとそのか。思考力は懸垂する。
Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep.
あれ寝てないじゃん、こいつ。あれ、しかもなんかこれ、あら、夢？あ、これが殺害現場への道だよ、これ。まあ、これが殺された人ですね。これ吊るされてるの。これ夢見てんのか、これ。これ吊るされてるのはこれ夢だな。これ吊るされてる人の顔、これ主人公だろ、これ。
What it says on the can, Harry. Answer the question. Do you remember your wife's hand on your face? Do you remember the warmth of her thighs between her? You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets, wandering. It's the worst day of all time. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me. Oh no, Funky baby, you stayed. It was the rest of it that left. Or you just stood. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. No, it's
雰囲気は本当良いですね。ストーリーも面白そうだし。
うん
You failed.
なんか
You failed me.
なんだろう、これうろうろしながら人に話してちょっとずつ進んでいくのはなんかムーンっていう結構有名なゲームっぽさもある。
You failed Elysium.
全
Everything.
てさ
The pale and the
お
Aesons.
お
On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning furious. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4 point. No, you haven't. You're just sleep talking. And the act, you'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time. Sweating up the bed.
なんだこの古代爬虫類のって
Stinky boy.
変力系、これはあれだよな、人格じゃないんだよな。
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. Bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding? You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jump.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
これさ、エルデンリングやってる時も思ったけどさ、プレステ5、これ、まあ、プレステ4用のゲームだからさ、プレステ5でロードが速すぎて、このロード画面中の Tips みたいなのが読めないんだよな。だってエルデンリングがそもそもなくなってんだっけ、Tips が速すぎて。
Good going, buddy. Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the... You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of you. Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself. Of course, Martinez is Speed Central. You just gotta poke around. You and Speed will be happy again. You will make her come home. This time.
It's キム出てこねえじゃん。なんかもうこれから毎日20リラ払わないと部屋で寝られないとか言ってるけど、今 2.57 リラしか持ってリラっていうか 2.57 円しか持ってなくてたまに 0.5 円とか拾えるだけなんだけど。あ、どこ？ああ、あそこ空いてるな。
Morning. Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. A lot of things point to the dock workers union. The circumstances in Martinez, my preliminary information. Actually, that's not a lot of things. We should have dug up more yesterday. Still, we need to talk to them. I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the union. These men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think it's them. I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it. That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth it. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep it cool.
He's not exaggerating about that mortal danger, just calmly factoring it in. Your fists clench and your pulse rises.
One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them.
Good. A power move.
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own.
これさ、最初の選択肢でさ、この肉体が強いやつを選んだ方が楽しかったんじゃないかなと思う。なんでも暴力で解決するみたいなロールプレイした方できる性格選んだ方が良かったんじゃないかなってちょっと思ってる。
Let me handle this.
You seem a little different today.
You are far from home, lieutenants. This isn't a district known for its love of That's right. I'm not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union.
Not a muscle moves in her.
You are looking for Titus Hardy, who you think has information on a murder the RCM is investigating. You want to interview him.
いや、俺探してるって言われて俺その名前初めて聞いたかと思うんだけど。
That's Titus. Talk to him, but know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arm.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't.
I saw what you were thinking. You want to say, what are you going to do to me? Don't. Just because it's in your head, you will not lose out on anything good by not saying it.
Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just...
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
もう意味がわからないよ。わあマジでこの会話の流れを理解してさ、あ、ここはこう返すのはクールだなみたいな思って選択肢選んでるやついるのかこれ。わからん。
No one is emotional here. Do your job. Ask your questions, then leave. Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. What are we going to do to you?
You were specifically asked not to say that, and then...
The union isn't going to do anything.
God.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people.
ちょっと先にしたい。
日本語のボイスだったらもっと理解しやすかったかもですね。
こういうのってあれなんでしたっけ？アニメだと1話いくらだけど、こういうゲームの吹き替えだとなんか文章量でギャラが決まるでしたっけ？なんかめちゃくちゃセリフ多いから大変。声優代すごいことになりそう。なんか屋上に誰かいるじゃん。どうやって行くかわかんないけど。いや、なんか、10時のなんか、打ち合わせで、お前、まだ死体調べてないのかよって言われて、この死体調べられないんだよな、ここにある。ずっと吊るされてるけど。
There he still is, looking
あ、でもゴボゴボになってる。
with his white eyes. The body
もう十分この時を待った。
entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does
か、
now.
まあこれ失敗しても、もう一回振り直せばもう一回できるから、ちょっと 42% いってみますね。は
As you
OK、
breathe
成
in,
功した。
the odor comes over you. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to ring.
これで調べられるのか。
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep.
The man before you is naked,
あ、
but for a
タスク
pair
更
of
新されたわ。
underpants and enamel
でもこれ
boots.
ね、昨日は成功率
The skin is
14% とか、
greenish,
そんな
marbled with decaying
パーツだったからや
veins
らなか
and
ったんだけ
blotched
ど。
by lividity. A fading web of tattoos
なんだか1
covers
日経っ
his
たら十
chest
分
and
待ったら
shoulders.
追加されて。
The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength. The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world.
They are armor, no boots. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, ceramic plate, zirconium dioxide most likely. This is where the make would be. Under the heel, fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff. Piece by piece. He's been out here for 7 days. We should keep a lookout for these pieces. The armor could yield information. Maybe he'll know something.
If you wear those pieces, it will help me protect your mortal coil. Yes, bullets will fly. They always do. And the coil is...
No, he must have worn something precious underneath his clothes. They've removed all his clothes to get to it. They did not just strip him for the putrid rags. Someone could have cleaned the yard, but that's a question for...
I hear you, cop, talking shit about the Kuno. Come here and say it to Kuno's face.
They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the Besmerties and the like.
What? Are you trying to...
Kuno, this boots shit is super boring and the guy's a total Victopaz.
It is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that, for a full set, about 4 years of wages. By catching, do you mean, let's not lock them...
What was that about the constabulatory before? You need to push some buttons if you want to recruit the lieutenant in a conspiracy.
So they don't get shot in the foot? I think our extremities are fine without...
Oops. Well, no one said it would work. Back to detect.
That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor. Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did the same.
He's not actually sure of that. He's just being
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
A small bell-like sound fills the air. The pry bar in your hand is itching for some action.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates, where they separate into smaller ones. These plates
これあ
then
れか
divide into smaller
じゃあ
plates.
夜キムがいるなんかこうキムがいるとお前それ証拠品横領だぞみたいに言われるから夜一人の時にこの下のとこ行けばこいつがこのすねの下から生えてる鎧くすねられるんじゃないのそういう時のために一人の時間があるんじゃないのこれ今取ろうとしたらさなんかお前マジかみたいな感じだったけど
like the scales of some ancient
夜もう一回来て、これ
cracked and pearly.
パクるか、このブーツ。
This feels dangerous. Are you sure?
脇にブーツを挟む。
The stench fills your
悪臭が
nostrils as you
あな
push
たの
downward. An
鼻孔を
ominous
満たす。
creaking sound comes.
Stop!
よせ。キムの声は鋭い。
Pig's gonna pull his head off.
あ、そうか。
Brutal!
ブーツが手を離す。あ、そうか。そうか、そうか。引っ張ったら首が抜けちゃうみたいな。えって。あ、このままやってみるか。もう腐ってるから、ブーツ脱がそうと思って引っ張ったら首が取れちゃうみたいな。
You're about to pull his head
ほ
off.
ら。遺体の首がちぎれそうだからだって。
Do it, Homo!
やれよ、ホモ野郎って。俺はホモじゃないって。
Stop obsessing about your sexuality, officer. You are about to seriously compromise the coroner's case. What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot?
俺たちは刑事じゃないのか。ブーツの中に手がかりが。俺これこう思ってたんだ。後悔しのものだ。質屋に入れて小遣いにしようと思ってね。小遣いっていうか今夜の宿代だけどな。ちょっとあからさまな言い訳しとくか。
Maybe we should concentrate on what's outside the boot and leave what's inside to the boys at press. There's no way you're getting them off. All the organic
遺
matter
体
in
の
his body has been
足は
flowing
ブー
down
ツ
into
と
the
癒着
boot.
して一体に
They
な
are
ってるんだ。
fused to his feet now.
You're
あ、そうか。
there's a
取れる
way
よもんだったら
to peel
地
them
元
off.
民は取ってる
But
か。
first, the body needs to be down. And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant
そう
wasn't
そう。
around.
やるならキツラギキムが近くにいないときだ。やるぜ俺は。夜相棒がいないときに盗むわこれ。
The anticipation makes you crack your fingers. Feels nice. Nice.
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we must pick our fights. Should we continue?
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt.
お
His
お
torso covered in tattoos.
まだブーツの観察が終わっただけかこれ。
And blue. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged
これベルトで吊るされてん
polyester
の？
cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch.
Industrial strength. The can used
違
for
うか、そうい
tying
うわけじゃねえ
cargo
か。
to lorries.
Like in a circus, when the circus leaves town and they tie a black-spotted giraffe to the wall of a carry pen.
Yes, it looks like they use whatever was on hand, paying no attention to not incriminating themselves.
ああ、なるほどな。
I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes, motivated by the ongoing strike.
No, you feel like it was something else. But what?
別の真
Yes,
相。
it often is. This bed worries me. It's not merely polyester, it's steel reinforced. See these lines? This is where this makes getting him down much more problematic. A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt, buckle closes. It's what I would do. Seems easier than climbing out there.
The cadaver hangs. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso. from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed. His corpse is marked by alcohol. Your fist clenches suddenly. Decay is creeping on the tattoo. Already, most of the canvas that's holding it has darkened. Now, it disintegrates slowly, letting out a stink.
A map of the stars. I do see some similarity to astronomical charts. Great, I agree.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort.
A Trigger Sunshine. Mini.
Shit, Kuno! What the
An instant color camera.
This is the first time he openly acknowledges the kid's
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour.
In case we need it. It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter. To us. Someone should decipher it. Sure. Just don't lose it.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute, and his eyes are milky white and blind to the world. But dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. Underneath the curdled meat there is an expression, not carried on his features, but below, inside. An expression of pleasure.
すげえ、97%。
This man was experiencing
でもこれは
joy
94% 失敗したんだよ
at。the moment of his death.
Why do you think so?
97% いくぜ。はっ。
I'm gone. Into the wild pale yonder.
なんか死体と話してるけど、この人。どういうことこの内陸帝国って。超常現象検査。無生物に生命が吹き替わる。衣類と会話ができるようになり。衣類と喋れるから死体とも喋れるみたいな。
In the past, I'm a joke. Look at me. A killer.
Takes one to know one.
Go ahead, Copper. What do you mean? It's the power of your imagination.
想像力の産物。
Yeah, man! Don't be crazy! Inanimate objects and dead people can't really talk to you. Your wild imagination.
He loves those. Because you're a copperoony. Look at all of them go. Coming right up. Copperoony, Rooney. This is... Fuck no. You're no root between you and me. Your name is probably... You can be anything you want. Brother Coppo. Love did me in, Brother Coppo. It was love all along. Because you have. Sure, Lobo. I can... Looking at my face, motionless. Looking into my eyes. Standing here. Why are you investigating my murder? I am all you have. Then you truly lost it all, brother. Let the world drag it all away from you. And do I remind you of someone? No, not quite. You sure got out of that one. Coppellini. Maybe I was getting my Rocks off. Do I look like an erotic auto-asphyxiation type to you? Captain Copperdromo? I fear we are drifting away, fixating on... Maybe I was getting mine. It's a mishmash, Coppabolo. You think I'm Messinian, don't you? For you, well, I'm not from Messina, am I? My hair is too light a shade of brown. You think I am. You think I was a racist because this lump looks military and has tattoo. I know what this means. More quest. Maybe I was Do I look like an erotic auto-asphyxiation type? Captain Copperdromo? I fear we are drifting away, fixating on... Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible,
判定に成功しても何も得られるものなかったんだけど。
see me in your dream.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blur. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
How should I know why you are squinting, officer?
顔と両手がピンク色だ。太もも、他の部分緑がかってる。
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach.
So, what do you think?
何かが死体から漏れ出してる。
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a...
The fuck is...
Talking about shit.
Did we? I don't feel lucky. I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal like.
I agree.
There are crow's feet in his eyes.
Totally dead. Dabba-doob-doob dead. I think he was upright immediately after death. Blood has gathered in his hands and feet, and his neck. The noose acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis here is in tune with the hanging. That's what I think. Yes, there's always a chance we are wrong. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling...
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's down.
The cadaver slowly twists on the...
Of course. You have questions, don't you? Come back later, Corpo.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting it.
銃で撃って港の人間と ID が尽きたもう一度他の人間
Someone else? You mean like the police? Someone like a paid garbage man? Or a cleaning crew? I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing... Climb up there and... saw the branch? There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees. I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared to be suspect in this case.
Confirmed. It's unsafe. But what other options?
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot!
How? It absolutely will not, officer. That's not...
Yeah, now it.
No miss!
The lieutenant is undecided. On one hand, he wants to shoot some gun. On the
What else can we do? We are not getting him down already. Not getting him down is a task that's already accomplished. Sadly, it's not our job to keep him up there, but to get him down.
Just pull his rotten head off. The meat's cooked anyway.
It's tempting, but decapitating him will make it impossible to ascertain whether he was really harmed.
確かにな。
The damage to the neck would make coronary work pointless.
どうすればいいんだ。組合に任せるか。銃で撃つのはちょっと良くない気もするんだよな。
Okay, they do have the tools and the men. And since it looks like they put him there... Okay, let's do it in the lousy, dangerous way. To ask the suspects for help with the victim's body? To be indebted to Everard Clare? Very much. Clearly we can't.
Suck my dick, bitches!
He's a dangerous and corrupt man.
Yeah? Don't go being someone else's bitches. You're...
From the gates, by negotiating or fighting. I'm unenthusiastic about fighting. Or we can try to find some secret.
To the gates. Let's fight, I say.
撃ち落とした方が良かったのかな。
Have you come to make your offering to Kuno?
あ？精神固弱持ってんの俺。あ、持ってるわ。タスクであったよな。書けばいいのか。あ、でも運動向上薬だ。精神向上薬じゃねえや、タスクにあるの。お、クソガキ。
Have you come to make your offering to Kuno?
No, you don't. No one is.
Bitches slapping each other, fighting for Kuno's attention.
Kim is never going to be okay with you handing something like this off to a minor. This plan is either off the table.
こいつがいないときにやれか。
I'll die before I squeal, pig! What's this kid shit? Fucking mind gap!
Get the fuck out of here, fit! Have you come to make your offering?
あのおばちゃんとこ行くか。この上でタバコふかすやつに会いに行けねえのかな。これ上だよな。全然。
Yes? Hello? Me? No one.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much.
Looking for something to read. It is. I know you are.
Everyone can see that. The rectangles.
What with?
This citizen thinks she can do without your assistance. Don't buy it. They all need help.
My husband? No, I don't know. At home?
Where is this going, officer?
Yes, but... No. Why are we still talking about...
She has the husband is totally lost.
What? Who said anything about shame? Stop talking that...
But he is. You can feel it. Or maybe it's something else then.
Kokatu.
I don't mean to disrespect, sir.
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get like this. It's better to indulge them at this point.
I don't even have a cockatoo. Even if I had, it wouldn't. Great. Nothing. Go read up on them if you're...
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic?
Wonderful. The story's open. No, absolutely not. Are you a policeman or a nanny? They are not...
You know where they are. They're at home. What if something horrible has happened? What if they're dead? That's the bad vibe you got with...
What? That's just... My daughters are...
She's getting upset. Her voice has risen.
They're almost grown up now anyway. They're past the age they need. My youngest girl, Jolie, is just shy of 16. Jenny, she... Why do you need to know this? Haven't I repeatedly told you that they're not...
Did someone say party? You could use a party. Hunt it down.
A killer party? What is it with you and pulp staples? My God. Please, no more talk about my daughters. They are fine.
Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It's the woman before you nods.
マジでこいつとの会話何の意味があったんだえおばちゃんこっちじゃなかったっけあ、なんか落ちてる。拾いね。
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C. Sod off, pigman. Art is above the law.
She's grown frustrated with her work and welcomes the opportunity to challenge authority in other ways. The lieutenant is desperately searching for another handkerchief. Hatred, disgust, it's difficult to tell which of the woman on the boat does not.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her. On a first-name basis with her, are we? It's where they grow whores like her. And they're whoremen.
話合わせとくか。
Pig's not half as dumb as he looks. Can't you tell? I'm painting a beaut. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Have you ever tried your hand at graffiti-o? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cards.
She wants it to be something true.
This place is severely lacking in. I thought I'd mix it up, you know. Summon the forces of crime and social chaos, yeah? Thanks. I'm sure...
You've lessened her desire to deface the building.
I ain't no snitch, Pigstein. Go forth and forage in some...
Actually, There is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant. Watch your back, Ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment.
Madame, I assure...
There is no reply.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope. I don't need one myself, you see.
All around you, rain keeps falling down. On the wooden boards she's standing on, and on the water around you.
Very rugged. Good choice. Now, I suspect you had questions. Nothing like talking to pass a... Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
スキルポイントなんか貯めてんだけど、だいぶ溜まってきたな。でもスキルポイントってさ、基本的に失敗したやつリトライするのに使えるから、失敗してから上げてもいいんじゃねえかなって気がしてんだよな。これ解放してみるか。1スキル、スロット。どれがつけるか。ボーナスなし。ほらね、文章量が多いだけじゃなくて意味わかんないでしょ。コイコ、キプト、それに砂漠ピグミーの魔法コマを操るアルマトのせいだって。一時的な研究ボーナスって書いてあるけど、ボーナスなのにマイナス2なんだけど。現実的、前日感喪失。レバラショール人の国家意識。どれを選んでいいか全くわからん。ワイルドパインズ、フェルト。王族による独占、タコとメカジグ。もう意味わからん。これにしとくか。
It doesn't really matter, and I do apologize for the surveillance. In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is a...
She's trying to conceal her excitement, but the lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. Exactly. But what?
I've kept my eye on the Camioners. Even tried to get to know one. It's a mystery I'm already invested in. Which one of them, if any, could organize such a complex operation? Okay. I thank you for sharing that much with me. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail. They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric or a joke. Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into...
Who are they?
Crenel, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allows some of the more militant Union members to subdue him.
そいつが被害者ってこと？
He was taken out behind the whirling in racks and lynched last Sunday night. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenel contractors carry out their orders. For now, it's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military...
What is the nature of this, so...
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
It'll be all of them. The decision is already made.
もうこっちとかあっちとか。いやいや、これにしとこう。
Surely you're joking. These people are killers. My only hope is that yours provides a single concrete suspect before they indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
なんかそんな話最近見た気がするんだけど思い出せねえな。
They would have to project strength and power.
The Debarders have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
俺ダーウィンが来たよく見てるからあるけど結構最近ダーウィンが来てなんか面白くねえんだよな。なんか面白いからない。
Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
だからああいういいアーマー持ってた、いい装備してたのか、吊るされてたやつ。前装式の銃器の簡単。あー、マジでスズメバチ対ミツバチじゃん、それ。
As I said, a bloodbath. Many bleak scenarios have already come true. Nameless, badgeless detective of the citizens' militia. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
なんか結構ポンポンタスクやってると経験値入るな。
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst.
Then we're on the same page. As grim as it may be, not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military...
Down a deep, black well.
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors.
どんだけ
the Seminoles Islands. Countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
ワグネルじゃん。
I wouldn't go as far as to use that term, detective. Yes.
Feels like there's a good response here, but you're not coming up.
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, if you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better back...
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell. I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe. That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
The lieutenant consults his...
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an...
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was... Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometimes that's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining... colleagues...
You meet her soon enough, you feel.
If you mean, did I see him alive?
You don't know how you know. It's not written on her face, nor in her voice.
Liked is a bit strong. He was the most charismatic among them. He handled all the talking. His departure... Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. One is a man, Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman, Phyllis DePaul.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man.
I can't remember.
That's all right, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say.
What else? Nationality?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
%スト破りのリーダーが ああ、あいつか。服のサイズが合っていなかった。あ、服のサイズが合って、ああ、スト破りのリーダーかな。はいはいはい。レンガ並みに頑丈なスト破りのリーダー。経歴チェックが失敗に終わった。スト破りのリーダーが、もう二人のうちの一人ってことか。
One is
まあまあ、
obviously
さすがに
the
92%。
scab leader at the harbor gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout.
環状交差点の南側にある建物の中のそこから、ああ。
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a border keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf...
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
こいつはわかんねえんだけど。
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case...
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have...
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel. I hope I can answer it better. Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members.
They don't report their progress.
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
5 days, not more.
5日間。
Maybe sooner.
It's a matter of days, not weeks. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please
どんだけ
ask.
会話あるのこれ。写真を見せる。
She reaches for the photo, takes it for about half a minute in
あ、
silence.
知り合いなんだもんな。
It was taken with a trigger not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. She has no excess of emotions for this cadaver.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each. Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways. A sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by.
Where is he now?
I would say he's near the Arcade Islands by now, ready to exit the Insulindian and enter the Pale. If I've read his home address, quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning. His platoon members? The other contractors, though I do not...
It could go this or the other way. Challenge accepted. I say we do it.
Do what you have to do, Detective. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. But if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you.
We will be careful, ma'am.
Is there anything else I can help you with? More lessons in basic reality? It's a neurological disorder.
She conveys it in short, cold bursts.
Well, it's either bariatric surgery or long-term alcohol use.
She nods.
Yes, and perform autoerotic asphyxiation on yourself with your funny necktie out in the open somewhere.
もうネクタイこれでけえんだよな。ゴブゴブいくか。は
6 kilometers southwest of the Valley of
どう
Dogs.
せまた意味わかんない文章
Junior
だけだろ。
officer Chad Tilbrook takes aim at a rabid black dog. To his left, his partner, Emil Mullins, whispers, "Yes, he lost his mind," Tilbrook answers, fingers on the trigger. "Don't worry, Emil, we always do."
You? You're an officer of the RCM. Preciso mundo. Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body.
Yes, we are the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest of the coalition government and to it. The RCM's responsibilities are defined by the Emergency, Wayfarer and Aliments Acts, 3 pieces of legislation keeping the city in a...
All 3 are good to know when we are out policing.
There's nothing basic about your role, Detective. It's true that the RCM keeps everything the way our seemingly Yet, on the other hand, I know these people. I deal with them daily. Let me tell you, the post-revolutionary decade was a disaster for the coalition government. Revachol in the 20s was hell, especially on the west side of the river. Gang warfare,
原子炉がメルトダウンしたっ
botched
て話は
privatization,
質屋の
a nuclear
質屋のおっ
power
さんがしてたな。
meltdown. They called it the international zone because no nation wanted to claim responsibility. The RCM restored peace where the coalition failed. A true blue citizens' initiative. They will never forgive you.
That's somewhat of an exaggeration. In reality, ours is a... Revacholians get to keep the peace in Revachol, and the coalition doesn't have to worry about it.
Yes, Lieutenant. Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are, to me, is the police. The only legitimate... And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I'm here to help.
非常に低い 3%。概念化。
Nothing more nor less than the de facto law in...
Yes, we are the We are.
Yes, that means not. Permit me to conclude with this. And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
まあ、スト破りのリーダー、正体は、なんか会社側から派遣されてる、なんかめっちゃ強い3人組の1人はもう死んでんだけど、に、その殺された人の写真見せれば仲間だから、タトゥーについて説明があるんだろうけど。スト破りのリーダーにタトゥーについて尋ねろ。タトゥーの あ、まあ聞いてみるか。オートセーブ入ったけど一応セーブしとく。これ、一回めちゃくちゃ戻されたからな。桜姫の感覚でやってたら、結構戻された。
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
これいきなりこんな、はいとは言えない質問する意味あんのこれ。してみるか。
Hell no. I'm just an honest
ほら、この場でそんな話をするつもりはないです
His
ね。
neck muscles tense up. The veins on his neck bulge. Fucking wow. How about you fuck off now?
Okay, of course.
There could be weapons aiming at us right now. Somewhere above, in the buildings. The other merc. Don't push this, he's thinking. The man's breathing steadies, but his eyes are still narrow. Slowly, he's trying to get his right to work dance back on.
この質問もいいな。上にね、身長2メートル50センチのやつがいるんだよ。ガードしてる。身長2メートル50センチのやつはいいんだけど。このなんだ、ゲート守ってる。
Don't think so. Suddenly, this feels like a really, really bad idea.
大佐とか言っていいのかな。あそこのカフェテリアの裏だったの。これでいいか。
Silence. He takes the photo. Gray up. You see dead flesh. Fucking loincloths. Really did him in.
クソったれの腰巾着。
Yeah. He's clenching his teeth. What it means.
I
can tell you what this one means. Only one. You want to hear what happened here? Our colonel is deep in the bush here. Deep in the fucking bush in Benital, 41. He spent a month behind enemy lines, scouting kept villages. Nothing but fucking bugs and snakes for fun. Men are getting with some strange emotion. This is about to get really graphic. Our boy, he's only a captain then, but he knows how these men think. If they don't see action soon. At dawn, he comes upon two kids, breeding in the bushes by the river. Or maybe they weren't. We shot the boy. He was useless, but the girl, she was quite the entertainment for the week she lasted. Expired in the hands of Sarge Mason, the kind of guy who'd make Chief there shit his pants and cry like a bitch. God. Mason couldn't let go. Cut the tits off her. Drowned in a creek a week later. Spirits my ass. Something stirs in your... There's a word on the tip of your tongue. Colorless. Odorless. It's...
You
bet it was. It's just... nature. This guy used to say evil is when nature and spirit meet. No. I was in the domain. In Jamrock. Being a bouncer.
こんなこと聞いたって絶対また意味のない質問。
Fucking mask is getting sweaty. I want to take my mask off. He's under orders. And orders are orders.
こいつはこの目の目その写真はあんたにやる。そいつを返してもらっていいか。返してもらおうか。
Go ahead.
All right now. Free commerce! Keep the goods flowing! Not before you get in there and get your ass whooped. Learn by failing.
He might have some advice, but you got to at least try to
一
fight.
回やられてくるか、じゃあ。一回身長2メートル50センチやられてくるか。こいつじゃないけど。
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you?
こいつに助けてもらうこともあるのか。てかむしろさ、こいつもさ、アドバイスくれるんだったらさ、ステータスがそういう、なんだろう、物理寄りじゃないからさ、こいつのアドバイスの方が多分有効だと思うんだよな。
Sorry. Busy surveying the situation. I'm sure you'll figure something out. You guys have all sorts of gadgets these days. Wiretapping, telescopic batons, futuristic circuit bending to infiltrate harbor machinery. Maybe you could even knock that Kowalczyk crane over using some remote controls.
Kowalczyk?
Or calling in tactical air support. You guys have air support, right?
Because we don't. We don't.
I get it. Hush hush about the secret technology.
Something changes in his disposition.
All right, I may have some advice for you on how to deal with Jean-Luc there, out of solidarity to the RCM. First, don't fight him, obviously. Second, get him to share his theory by being subordinate. Admit your lack of expertise. Basically, grow them. That's how I do it. You're welcome.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go. I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called Hardy boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. The Hardy manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to the union alone. Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of my woman.
概念か。72% いくか。
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you?
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and
you are obviously a liberal, Sailorite. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love. There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on? I knew you would go straight for the vile cauldron. Everyone does.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise.
Yes, it would seem nonsensical.
Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course. The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile. They are all lactose intolerant. A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades. In Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort, wherein you know them by the names of their nation states.
どんだけ専門用語出して専門用語っていうか、この世界の中の単語の専門単語っていうかさ、
My people simply call them Maun.
多いんだよこれ。
The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental
これ
racial
でさ、あ、
purity
モーン
and
っていうのオランエン
tassels
ジン、コットワルトににヒスタインジンって覚えてゲームやってる人っていんのかな、これ。
lactose-intolerant subrace whom no one can take seriously.
ああ。入豆腐対象の怪人種。
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the Golden Pisantic Sea, the other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they are violent in overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat up. As proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental Type A is in retrograde. The indigenous people of this, the Insulindian archipelago, the Simonese and the Areopagites are the master race of the Ilmaran deserts. The Simonese are descendants of the Areopagites. We came here during a hero. The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Simonese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an immutable progenitor, unchanged since the Super Isola of Pericarnassus. The latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the Simeno-Areopagite, or Simeopagite.
Nature was not capable.
Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors. To an untrained eye, the Koiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham's witch. But look into their eyes and you will see. They are often indistinct. Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that degrade people. The Koiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with Potat. The only thing, Revacholians, halfway between Type A and the racial Coldron. Two makes to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little revolution.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Zara's written potato carts. It is literally an illness, a prion disease that the revolution is fatal familial insomnia, a hereditary prion condition passed from the Koiko to the Occidentals. But not enough of Type mediocrity. Types CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures waiting to be put to sleep. Lesser races like the Mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a masked woman and a Simonese man. Or the Mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey. All they have left is to ride customized motor carriages. Listening to aggressive El Mariachi music to vent their impotent despair. Then there is the Simino Koiki Chimera. The Koiko, as you know, are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man. racial scientists have toyed with the idea of crossing the Simonese with the Koiko to produce a super worker of Simonese strength and grad servility. This will never happen. The Simonese and the Koiko may have similar interbreeding problems as the mosquito. We will never know precisely.
There is a strange sadness in his tone, a less than heroic melancholy this time.
The heart that pumps the hemoglobin is mysterious, and so is its dark will. Enough of...
He does not seem angry, nor does the woman look affected. She just twirls her hair. Perhaps they've been through this and established an accord.
You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone... We will see.
Access to the Union is important for our investigation, but there may be another way, without becoming a...
Am I mildly worried he might take it seriously? The lieutenant thinks. Yes, I am, he concluded.
You need to internalize what you have heard here today. Then return to me. This clarity does not come
この純粋なエニグマを入れて、こいつに話しかければ、こいつが下ろしてくれるのかしたよ。
I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere Vasholian. Your love for disco music and venereal disease?
どうするかね。高等人種理論。一応つけてみるか。あ、これでいいんだっけ。人種のエネグマ。ああ、基礎と上げそうとか、それは間違いない。あ、行動人種理論でいいんだよ。ここに、あ、もう高等人種理論。じゃあこれがこれ何分かかるんだこれ。1時間40分。短いな。
Compatriote, you have something to discuss? I salute you, compatriot. Defenders of the evening lands have to stick together. Light up, brother.
Whoa, jackpot.
Cigarettes are a tool. Equip them in your health slot.
なんかタバコをさ、どうこうするとかいうタスクもなかったっけ？酒か。 こんなのもあったか。食うのにタバコ渡すのがいいのか。あ、でもタバコ出ないって一服するもあるわ。じゃあちょっと装備してみるか。
There it is, a brave little army in your pocket. You picked the best one. This soldier is.
Oh yes, Bratan! Please light up! You need a trooper between your lips right now! Calm your shit down! Go to
Get a load of this rock and roll cop here, people. Johnny Thundercop fishes a cheap lighter out of his pants. Thick, warm smoke gets sucked down. Immediately, you feel a warm nostalgia fill your head, body, and soul. A nostalgia for.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a cigarettes button. Cigarettes gives +1 to intellect skills. Logic, rhetoric, conceptualization, visual calculus, encyclopedia, and drama. This is good before a white check, but damages your health.
基本値が上がるってこと？強くね？残り使用回数3。そういうことか。装備してる間だけってことか。これ外したらまた下がるってこと？外してみる。全然下がってねえけど。この辺にしとくか。一回セーブして、ちょっとタバコの使用をちょっと調べてやめよう。何だろう？まだ装備するだろう。L3 億でもなんかタバコ使うとかなんねえな。残り使用回数3だから、3だけどさ。別に使えねえな。こいつらとも喋りたいしな。一回セーブしたから、そこ、ドアぶっ壊したらなんかぶっ壊せんのかとかちょっとやってみるか。このドア。
The door is closed. Still, the lieutenant, he doesn't like it. You should punch a fucking. You slam your fist into the vinyl. It does not produce a hole. Not to mention.
Stop that.
Still, the lieutenant, he doesn't like it. You should punch a. You slam your fist into the vinyl. It does not to mention.
Stop that.
This door can only be opened with a key. This door, still, the lieutenant, he doesn't. You should punch a fucking hole. You slam your fist into the vinyl. It does not to mention.
Stop that.
Still, the lieutenant, he doesn't like. You should punch a fucking hole. That felt good. Don't. Everyone is a whore.
Hey.
That don't. You slam your fist into the vinyl. It does not produce. Not to mention.
Stop that.
ダメだ、何も起きない。だってこれ。殺されたやつの身元は分かった。で、まあ、とりあえず死体を下ろして検視やら何やらしなきゃいけないから、下ろす手段を今探してるって感じですね。死体の身元はとりあえず分かった。今、死体を下ろす手段を探してて。まあでも1時間40分ぐらい経てば、このゲーム内時間が経てば、2メートル50センチの人に多分協力してもらえるみたいな感じですね。それでは放送終了しようと思います。ご視聴コメントありがとうございました。失礼します。